Welcome to the Wisdom to Wealth podcast. I'm excited that we're back with a powerful episode today. This is the podcast where we interview the wealthiest entrepreneurs and business owners in the world to hear their journeys from zero to wealth. I am your host, Shamar Star Cox, TV producer and marketing coach. I help 6 and 7 figure business owners create binge-worthy content in order to attract their followers and then convert their followers into customers. I am also the founder of the Convert Content to Cash Challenge. So if you want to learn how to create content that sells in 5 days or less, all you have to do is comment challenge accepted or DM me challenge accepted on Instagram, and I will send you a personal invite. Today, we have the lovely Shawna Solomon with us. She is a dedicated brand success strategist with a passion for empowering individuals and businesses to achieve their full potential. Since founding Shawna Solomon and Associates in 2020, she has leveraged her expertise in brand development and image consulting to help clients elevate their market presence and reach remarkable revenue milestones, often exceeding 6 figures. Her innovative and forward-thinking strategies have garnered numerous accolades, including a Woman of Excellence Award and the OWN Leadership Award. Shawna, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, let's jump into your story because I don't know if you saw the title, but I titled this episode Pregnant at 15, Wealthy at 42. Take
Yeah.
us on your journey.
Wow. So yes, pregnant at 15. That is a story in itself. I was one of those statistics, right? One of those ones who everybody doubted, got pregnant early on, disappointed disappointed my mom, teen mom, everybody around me telling me what I was not going to be. And honestly, I believed it, didn't think that I was going to or couldn't go to college, didn't think that that was going to be something that was available to me. Um, Everybody from family, friends, teachers told me that pretty much my life was over because I decided to move forward with my pregnancy. Was grateful that I did have the few people around me, my mom, and I had a amazing aunt that was my support system that supported me through that, and showed me another way, which was entrepreneurship. And I had to get creative. I had to find that way. I had to figure out, like, okay, if I can't go to school, what is something else that I can do? And that led me into entrepreneurship. My aunt had a salon, and I was like, okay, let me find something else to do. So I would go down there and follow her around with, and watch her do her things that she would do through that. Early on, I knew that I had to kind of think creatively on how I could generate some revenue without the traditional ways of going through school.
I love it. And you talked about this mindset piece here where it was like if my life was over and it was because people were telling you these things, right? And you wouldn't amount to anything. You wouldn't be able to go to college. Talk us through how you were able to overcome this mindset. I know you had someone show you another way, which was entrepreneurship, but how were you able to overcome this mindset to build such a successful business?
Honestly, it took me years to overcome that mindset. And the funny part is I'll be 50 and actually next Saturday. And I realized about 2 years ago that I had not completely overcome that mindset, because you have to constantly go through the motion and remind yourself that you are not what everybody else says that you are. And I was told this for so long that doubt consistently was in my mind. And I found myself constantly trying to prove otherwise, right? But I knew that I was going to be more than what everybody said that I was. So I decided that I was going to make the money, that I was not going to be that person that was just going to lay on her back and be that person. And it's hard. It's hard to have the confidence when you have those people that have already deemed you not worthy before I wasn't even an adult. I was 15, so it was like you have all these negative tones from before you're even adult. It was like where do I go from here? So I had to surround myself early with the older women who would then say, you are worthy of this. You can do this. You might not be able to do it this way, but you can do it this way. So that early on, I learned to surround myself with greatness, to surround myself with people who believed in me, who thought that I could. And I just kind of carried that on as I grew up. It was like, okay, this friend might not be, this friend might not be the person, the right person to take me on that journey, but I need to find this person be around a person who is going to put me in, move me into more like a positive light, or to show me something different, or where I can learn something different. Definitely stayed around people who had positive role models. It was a journey. It continues to be a journey. Like I said, even as an adult, the type of people that you're around, the circles that you're around. I'm not around people who have that negative tone of I can't, or where they're doubting. If I'm in a room with somebody and when they're pessimistic, I can't. That's just something that I no longer. I can't entertain things like that anymore. I've been around we talked about me being a domestic violence survivor, constantly being around the things that are going to bring you down. There's enough of that already in the world. I'm sorry.
No, you are good, girl. I was going to tell you this. I feel all this fire and passion that's coming from you. And then it's shifted to just a little bit of heaviness, right? And that's okay because you are embodying what we go through as entrepreneurs, right?
Right.
And oftentimes, like you said, oh, happy early birthday, by the way.
Thank
You
you.
said, I don't think that I ever like got rid of the negative mindset, right? And I oftentimes when I see business owners, especially when they're just starting out, even Christians, and I know even Christians when they're just starting their business, there's this thought process of I have to get rid of this mindset now. But here
Right.
you are building the success in your business, and each level you were going to being able to address this mindset. So it wasn't I have to get rid of it. It was I'm going to address this. And I like the way that you addressed it too. You said words are so powerful. So having people to pour into you, having a
No,
community of those who are ahead of you, who are able to just really be able to lead you on the way. Oftentimes we have one direction, or at least we're grown up with one direction. This is the one path that we need to go on. But here, God took you on a whole other path.
mm-hmm.
What I love so much about your story is that it's not a story of I was thrown away. It's a story of how I was renewed and
Mm-hmm.
how there are many ways to do things. And it may not look the way that it should look, the way the world says it does, but it's still going to end up being this beautiful, powerful story, right? So, and that's what I love so much. I love so much. So, you were saying you don't surround yourself by people who are speaking negatively. And now you're in this space where you are the voice in many people's lives. Talk to us about how that is, that transformation that you were able to see in yourself and in your business now that you're speaking into many people's lives and helping them.
So the transformation was when I realized that my story mattered. Um, I didn't start talking about the domestic violence piece because I never thought that was me. That was something that I suppressed. I suppressed the being a teen mom for years. I didn't start talking about that till about 10 years ago. It was something that I was ashamed of. It was one of those stepping stones or one of those things that was like, let me hide this because I didn't want anybody to know about that side of me because I had gotten to a certain place. It was a part of me that I didn't want people to know about. And then when I start having conversations with other entrepreneurs and having those conversations, I realized that the reason why they could not push forward was because of those same reasons. And I'm pulling that out of them. And I'm like, okay, in order for me to get this out of them, I had to be real with them and let them know that, you know what, throughout my journey, that was me. So in every step that I took, had to show them that side of me. And the more that I was able to do that, the more I was able to help them grow. Right. And then with that, they were able to grow. And I always talk about like the 4 steps that I've taken to get to where I'm at. And in each one of those steps, there has been, you see, I'm crying now because I feel like there's another step that's getting ready to come. And we talked before this, I feel like something great is getting ready to happen. And I feel like every time there's something getting ready to happen, I feel like I always have to cry out to God at like literally at times like this. And then that shift is getting ready to happen where something great is getting this is another level for me that I'm not sure what it's going to be, how it's going. I just know it's going to be great. And I know that it's not just going to be for me, it's going to be for those who follow me, everybody that surround me. And it's great, but you have to be able to just to kind of to be real in it and to stand in your story. And then for so long, I wasn't okay with that. And people couldn't relate to, I don't feel like people related to me in the way initially, the way that they should have been able to until I was being real with myself. Like I said, it took me about 10 years to be able just to say, you know what, this is the real me. I was a teen mom. I was a domestic violence survivor. And because of that, I am who I am today. I did not go to school. I didn't go to college. You know, I finished high school, but I didn't go to college. I'm not your average successful person. You know, when they say this is how much most successful people make, I can say I am a high school, you know, I graduated from high school and I am a mid 6-figure earner. Like, you know, you can do it and not do the tradition and not go the traditional route. And I'm proof of that. You know, I've had a lot of people, like, you know, I always say, and when it comes to the mindset piece, there are people when I talked about when I talk about the change in my mindset in the last couple of years. Up until a couple of years ago, there were people on social media that would come on my posts and be like, I'm so proud of you. And it would like still irk me because you were one of those people who told me years ago that I wasn't going to be anything. And here you are congratulating me and telling me how great it is that, you know, how great I am. And I'm just now getting to a point that I'm, you know, where I'm past that. So not saying that it doesn't happen overnight, and give yourself some grace for those triggers and those traumas that are still going to rear their heads, because it does. You see, like I literally just cried because I thought about something that hit, you know, 20 years ago. Those things are going to happen. It's how you stand back up and deal with it. And again, entrepreneurship, it's an emotional roller coaster. It's how you stand in that. It's how you prepare. It's how those systems and processes are in place. You know, it's like there's so many things that you have to make sure that you have in place so that when life does happen, you know, life just happened for me. Mm-hmm. Life just happened. Like in the last 2 weeks, my husband was in ICU. I had to fly out of here real fast. Nothing skipped a beat, right?
Right.
But that's because I had things in place. You know, make sure that you hire somebody is going to help you. Like, you know, don't try to do it yourself. Delegate. You know, like there's so many things that I wish that I had when I first started. I didn't. You know, if I could go back to when I initially first, you know, when I first started, man, I'd have been a millionaire a long time ago. You know, but some people, you know, if you don't know, you don't know. But I just wish that I just hope and pray that people that are watching now, that when they see, you know, people like us, that they understand that, you know, when it comes to the mindset and the struggles and stuff, that it's okay to be, it's okay to be you and go through everything that you're going through and still be an entrepreneur and still be successful, and you'll be okay. Just don't give up. Don't give up.
I love this. I love your story so much because it's raw and it's real. And it happens to a lot of people. And I'm
Mhm.
actually happy you didn't go to college and was still successful because I did go to college. And let me tell you, them student loan debt ain't it feels like I'm not successful. Okay. So but
Mm.
I
And
had some
I hear horror stories
right.
about people who have gone to college and got to pay those. Yeah.
Okay, I was talking to someone yesterday on the podcast, and her name is Christina. She was also talking about that, right? Like just being fed this lie that the only way you're going to be successful is if you go to college, get your degree, and then you'll be able to get your dream job, get paid. And that's not what's happening for a lot of people. They're going
Right.
to college, they're getting this degree, can't get a job in their field because they don't have the experience. Now
Yep.
they have all this student loan debt that the government refuses to take care of, but can go all the way to Ukraine and help Ukraine out with their war as opposed to
Yep.
helping their people out with their student loan debt, right?
Yep.
And so just hearing these stories, a lot of people are finding success going the other route. And I
Yep.
remember for me, I was angry. All this year I was angry because I realized that there was another route. When I was growing up, the one route was go to college. And after college, my life did not go the way I thought it was going to go. And I remember
Mhm.
being angry at God, being angry at this world. Just, I was so angry. And
Yep.
then God introduced me to another route, which is
Yep.
entrepreneurship. And I'm
Yep.
like, are you serious? This was here the entire time? Like,
Yep.
had I known, I would have rather just done this instead. So I love that you have this part of your story. I didn't go to college. There are
Yep.
so many people. Mark Zuckerberg didn't finish college, and look at
Yep.
how successful he is. Okay.
Listen, and I have I have people that are close to me that have tried to get jobs. There, I had a cousin who went to get a job. They offered her, it was like $19 an hour. She was like, cousin, she was like, I just need 3 days. She was like, can you just give me a couple days, show me how to make my, like, and literally, she's the reason why I start doing ebooks.
Yeah.
I said, give me a day and I'm gonna type some stuff up.
Mhm,
And she
mhm.
was like, you know what? This is so good. You need to sell this.
Yes. Come
She was like,
on.
you need to sell this. And I say less.
Mhm,
I'll put it on the
mhm.
web. I was like, I'll put it on the website. Tell your
Yes.
friends about it. I said, I will tell you how. I said, I will give you my exact strategy on
Mm,
how I come up with how I made. I'm saying when I made my first $100,000, literally, it was a strategy. The way that I came up with that strategy, it was me. I said, first of all, I need to be accountable
mhm,
and I need to have a plan. I need to be account. And I need to have a product. Those are the main three things that I needed to do. I said, if you can do this, I need you to do this. I said, make it happen. She said, I'm gonna do it. I said, and if you can do this, she did that, and she was like, oh my goodness. She said, I couldn't believe, and she made her little $86,000. She made
Wait a
her
minute. No, no, no. Don't go past that part. He was about to get a $19 an hour job. And instead, you showed her with 3 steps. It's a three-step
three
strategy.
steps.
How she can make 100K and she made 86,000 in
$86,000. I said, listen, I said, one of the things, and that's what and I feel like that's what and I feel, and I know even with social media definitely waters down how a lot of things happen. But I feel like what they fail to realize is that you still need to be consistent and you still need to have a plan, right? So a lot of, like, you'll see a lot of stuff out there that's like, oh, well, you can do this and you can do this. You still got to do it,
Mhm,
right?
mhm, mhm.
They're telling you to do stuff, but they're saying you got to buy this. But what they're not telling you to do is you still have to do what you're telling
Yes,
you to buy,
yes, yes.
right? So I'm like, what I'm telling you to buy, you still have to apply it. You still have to
Mhm,
implement it,
mhm,
but I'm giving you what to do. I said, I still need you to do it. I'm not doing it for you. I need you to do this. And she was like, I do it and leave me alone for about 6 months. But
mm,
I need to watch you do this consistently.
mm, mm.
I said, I promise you. I said, if you do that, I promise you, you'll make the money. I said, I guarantee you'll make the money. I said, I'll give you your money back if you don't do it. She was like, look, and it was so, and the crazy part about it is the clients that I work with, when I first started doing the consulting, I was charging $600.
Mm, mm,
Nothing. You know, that's nothing.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Definitely nothing. Mm,
Nothing. I have clients that have literally sent me thousands of dollars because they're like, girl, listen, you made me, like, the one girl was so excited. When she made $103,000 in less than 10 months, people randomly sending me Apple Pays, Cash Apps, like, she was like, girl, I don't know what it is that you got in that creative brain of
Come
yours,
on.
but thank you for not going to college and show me.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you for not going to college. Okay.
Go to college and show me what to do. But there is something, and the thing is, doing what I love, like that. The thing that I feel like what God has shown me is that I can absolutely do what I love and get paid.
That part.
That keeps me going so much, even on those days that I question things, that I'm like, I don't know. Like, I feel like there's some little bit of shaking up. Like I said, like the things that just happened with my husband. I'm like, God, I don't know what you got for me here. Like, but I wouldn't have been able to get up and go do that. I had to catch a $600 flight. Everybody can't say that they can do that. You know what I mean? Like, people are literally like, here's another thing. We getting ready to move into a whole nother, I'm going to say, dimension come 2025 with these tariffs. Is business ready for that? I had one of my contracts say, we need to switch up I'm 10 steps ahead of y'all. Are these retail businesses ready for what is getting ready to happen with these tariffs? We need to change how we pricing this stuff for us to stay in business. They are not ready for this. We need to go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, this is so powerful, right? Because we talked about how you were able to help your cousin make $86,000 as opposed to her $19 an hour job, right? And this is just a glimpse of how you help your clients, because I remember during your pre-interview, we were talking about how you helped your husband, and he went from, I don't even know what level he was at, but once you put your hands on it, 300,000, he was able to move. So here you are being this guide for people to get to their millions, which has been promised to them through their business, right? And then this pressure. I wanted to go back to the pressure, because you were feeling this pressure. You said it seems like every time you're about to go to a next level, there's this pressure that comes. Let's talk about, and of course, I still want to talk about the tariffs. I still want to talk about like how you need to prepare your business for next, specifically the retail business. So we'll get to that shortly. But I want to hear you share, like, when this pressure is on, how does your faith remain strong in God that he will follow through on what he said he's going to do? And how do you stay focused on continuing to build your business and supporting your clients?
Ooh, so let me say this. The pressure for me has gotten, this time around, it was bad. And I questioned it a lot. However, again, that support system, that mama man, shout out to Mama Pat, because she keep me grounded. She'd be like, listen, girl, if you don't go get that Bible and sit down. And I have my friends who are like, I mean, I have some of the best friends, because they will send me scripture. They are sending me like it'd be like right on time, the exact ones that are the one based on what it is that I'm like actually feeling. Because sometimes I overthink. So I tend to go back to what my why is and try to align those over to everything that happened. And I'm gonna go back to what happened with my husband, because around this time in December is when I usually take the month off. I felt like I didn't take this month off. And I felt like nothing was aligning with the transition to because we're the goal is to do this training center. Nothing aligned this month. Nothing aligned with that, from the location to what happened with my husband. I'm like, God, what is going on? When I tell you I yelled out, when I tell you I cried, I have a room, my office And I looked at everything that I had mapped out. And I said, it makes sense to me. God, if this doesn't make sense for you, I need you to tell me. And then my husband got sick. Like I can laugh about it now. I can laugh about it now. 4:45, that doctor called me. I was at the airport at 6. When I tell you, crying the whole time on the way up there. And I'm thinking about everything. So like as a wife, right? We're thinking husband, we're thinking business, I'm thinking everything that's going on. How, like, what is getting ready to happen with everything? The truck is in another state, he's in another state. I'm, doing all of this and thinking about everything that we have planned for 2025. What is getting ready to happen? I send out a message to my assistant. This is what is going on. Everything can kind of crumble. Life can change. I don't know if I'm bringing my husband back. I don't know what that looks like for me. My mom said, you focus on him. Let us focus on this. The only thing that I could do, and no lie, the only thing I did was pray. What is for me is for me. In all my years of being in entrepreneurship, I never understood that. In all my years, when people would say what they would do when it came to, well, let's have a meeting, let's do this, let's do that. If you would have asked me this, what I would have done last year, this same time, I'd have gave you a completely different answer. This time, I went straight into prayer. That's all I could do. That's all I had. That's all I had to give. I laid it all out. It was, if everything that I have planned is meant to happen, it's still going to happen. I was able to bring my husband back home. We still have a plan. Are we still going to have the building? I don't know. The plan is still in place. You know what I mean? I'm still going to PA. You know what I mean? So it's like, that was the first time in a long time that I felt safe with, and I can say that so confidently because of the space that I've been in for the last 2 years. Right? Normally, Shawna is the worker bee. Normally, Shawna is pre-planning. To say that I have a plan, I do. Right? Shawna's always working ahead. But you know how they say faith without work is dead, that or whatever. I get it. But when I tell you now, pray about all things, prayer first, all of that, that didn't happen for me right away. That didn't happen for me first. These last 2 years, prayer first. That chaos did happen with me. It was pray first and figure out the chaos later. And that's what I did. So I prayed first, and then everything kind of just kind of aligned after that. It didn't seem like chaos afterwards. It was, let me make sure my husband is okay. My husband was okay. Oh, my assistant was like, oh, that worked. Okay, that happened. Oh, okay, that happened. So it didn't seem as chaotic. When I came back home, everything aligned differently. Did I lose? I think I lost. And here's the thing. And I don't even want to say I lost the client, because I didn't. She wasn't for me. You see what I'm saying? So it was like, what's supposed to go into what is supposed in it, and we talked about this a little bit before I got on the phone. What's supposed to go into 2025 with me? Because I said a prayer, right? I said a prayer that I wanted the right people to go along with my mission and my values moving into 2025. And in that, here's the thing, I need my husband to be with me. And he said that he wasn't ready to leave me yet. And in that prayer, I said, I don't want anybody around me to surround me for the wrong reasons. I don't want anybody around me to surround me to use me. I don't want anybody around me that's going to use me to be around me for my name. My name holds a lot of weight in PA. And I want anybody around me for that. I want people who's around me, who's going to be the betterment of me, my clients, my mission, and my values. A lot of those people fell off in those last 2 weeks. So that prayer first got rid of a lot of that dead weight. So moving into 2025, it's a completely different. When I tell you I came home and I felt so light, that $1 million plan looked real good.
Okay.
With all that extra stuff that's going on, right? That plan was like, we shifted, I think, only 2 dates in that plan. As far as with me, it changed it shifted the context of me doing, I think, one of my courses. Instead of it being full-blown entrepreneur, it switched that to me doing some corporate stuff. That was it. But that was because I had more time, because I lost, some of the people that wasn't meant to be there. You know what I mean? So I guess it's all on mindset, like you said earlier.
Mm-hmm. I love this. I mean, you said pray first, figure out the chaos later. Like, that was so powerful. But then also, just your success allowed you to be at your husband's side in a minute. Like, it wasn't, man, I don't have the money, I can't hop on a flight. Lord, I'm really struggling. How come things ain't working? It was like, no, I know, I already got this.
I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. I'm going right to my husband. And just really having this wealth allows this peace of mind. There's a scripture, and I'm blanking on the exact scripture, but it says that money is a safeguard, right? And for you in that situation, it got to show up as that. Absolutely. And so what I like about this story is, for those who have a poverty mindset and they're Christians and they believe that God don't want them to be rich, this is a testament of why he does want you to be rich.
Here's the thing, that part baffles me, that when I see people that say the poverty mindset is what keeps so many people where they are at.
Absolutely.
And here's the thing, I get that. And let me say this, my mom, we weren't rich. We were comfortable. But the poverty mindset, and I get that there are a lot of people that have been in that space. Don't stay there. That's all I ask is don't stay there. I get that there are people that have dealt with a lot of stuff. That my goal is that I want you to want more for yourself and your kids, and to get out of that. And nowhere does it say that he wants you to stay there at all. Somebody said to me one time that we had an event, and that God told her that that we were supposed to give her a ticket for free. God ain't tell you that.
I'm gonna say, God ain't tell you that, Shawna. Like, if God's gonna tell her that, why he ain't tell you that?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I do so much for free, sis. We give away. We start businesses for free. Yeah. We give away LLCs. I literally give away businesses for free. Don't play with my daddy's name like that. We're not doing that.
Come on now.
Just don't do that. And I feel like that people get so caught up in that. Sometimes it is just like, it's kind of insulting. Like, don't do that. But I'm in it for, I want everybody to win, which is, it's actually a downfall for me. Because before I knew anybody, I didn't have any boundaries. Like, my car got repoed because I was giving my last. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I need you to want it as much as I want. I will absolutely help you get everything that you absolutely can. Like, that's why the contract, that's why I go through corporations to get paid, so that they can so that you can participate for free. Yeah. So that you can get what I'm giving for free. So that you can get to where you need to get to, and make the 6 figures that you need to make. so that you can be financially self-sufficient, so that you can get off of that welfare, so that you can
Come
get
on.
out of those projects, all of that.
Mhm.
Like, I don't just show up and just leave like a lot of those other people do, right? Oh, I've sat in some of those, or I've sat with a lot of those facilitators that come in, and they do what they're supposed to do, and they leave.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I'm trying to get funding so that we can have the cohorts afterwards.
Yep.
You know, so that there's follow-up, so that we make sure that you're getting everything that you're getting, so that we can, like, no, we're not doing that.
No, she's trying
For
to take advantage. That part. I really love that you shared this, and it's so powerful. And so we're gonna start wrapping up now, as we're a little over time. But I wanted you to, I wanted you to talk about, because you specifically help retail business owners too, right? So how can they prepare for 2025, and then how can they work with you in 2025?
Okay, preparing for 2025. Specifically, I want to talk about, as far as the tariffs, is making sure that they are properly planning, because already we have seen where some of these companies are already raising their pricing, right? So you want to make sure that you are properly planning with your pricing. Order now if you can, because they have, like I said, they have already started raising their prices. And making sure that when you are pricing, and that there is, I'm not sure if I have a pricing plan on my website. If not, I'll make sure that I add it. But there is, you want to make sure that you are pricing not just to sell, but also pricing to profit. Because I think that when it comes to small business, that we just price to sell and not necessarily price to profit. And do not try to compare yourself to like these bigger box stores. Leave that to them, especially when it comes to sales. I am not a heavy sell person. Only sell when you have like stale inventory, things of that nature. Do not, again, try to compare yourself to Walmart or anything like that. Make sure you know who your audience is. There is a target audience worksheet that is on my website that is free. There is a brand success kit that is on my website. There is also, if you are a retail business, there is a boutique kit that is on my website as well. Both, the boutique one is specifically for retail businesses. The brand success toolkit is for both. Is for both retail and service-based businesses. And if you are in the Houston area, I am contracted with the city of Houston, where I have a class that is starting January 11th through the Carnegie Libraries. I'm still stuck in Pittsburgh. Through the Houston libraries, and it is free. They have hired me through their libraries, and we will be teaching classes called Entrepreneur Unlocked. There is more information on that I don't know if I have it on my website yet, but it is on the library's website. It is free, and I need you guys to show up for that. There are, I think, 3 of them that are, the links are up there for them already, and it is also on my page. I definitely would love for you guys to set up for that. And I am in talks with a few banks to get the funding for the next step for that, because I really would love to help as many entrepreneurs for that as well. Because I feel like that's something that we can, or that I can help that next step, because it's just a 2-hour class. But if I can help get some funding for that to be more like a program, that's what I want to do with that.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. I did drop your links inside the chat. We have the brand success tool that's displayed on the screen right now. Okay. It's also in the Instagram chat. If any of you want to just copy and paste it, you'll also get access to it once this podcast is on either Instagram, LinkedIn, or YouTube. It'll all be in the description. And then one more link you had for us, which was a 30-day content calendar for retail businesses. Did you want to talk about that a little bit?
So that is just a content calendar that is to help you grow your retail brand. I am all for, so I initially got started because for those who don't know, I got started in business with my retail business. I have a boutique that I've had since 2005, and I initially grew that to 6 figures. Mm-hmm. And then I got into coaching and consulting in 2000. So I know all things retail, and that is from wholesale. I love wholesaling, and also sourcing as well. So this is a content calendar to help you grow your business.
Awesome. Thank you, Shawna, so much for joining us today. You dropped so many gems. Thank you for also being open and vulnerable today. I feel
Absolutely.
like your vulnerability is really what helps business owners to see, like, wait a second, she's so successful, but she's still human, right? I think sometimes people think that once you hit your success, I no longer have problems. I no longer have issues. I have arrived. And you clearly showed us life still be lifing.
Absolutely.
How you gonna navigate it? We
Yeah.
can't just be giving up just because life is gonna life. Like it's just, and it's not even like it's minor stuff that you didn't stub your toe. Like
No, life happens. Life, and the thing that is, I think that with another thing is that we tend to not show that side. That's the part that I feel like makes it. I just don't. I think that it's fake.
yeah, absolutely. It totally is fake.
Yeah,
And then people like on social media start thinking this is how entrepreneurship is supposed to be, but it's a roller coaster. You're
and
going to
it's
have your
not.
ups and downs.
Yeah, like that's not how. And people see that, and they're like, and that's that what they call it, the microwave thing. Like that.
Yes.
That's what you see, and that's not what happens. And when it comes, when you hear me talking about planning, you want to make sure that you when you hear me talk about properly planning, you want to make sure that you properly plan so that when life does happen,
Mhm.
your business does not it's not impacted at all.
Yeah. Ooh, so powerful. Thank you so much again, Shawna, for joining us.
Um,
Thank you all for tuning in today for this powerful episode of Wisdom to Wealth. The gems that Shawna dropped today, take it and implement it. She said
yes.
one of the biggest things that transformed her life and her business was to take action. So take action. If you need to get access to her, download her brand success tool, or you can get the content calendar. And from there, you'll be able to access her website.
Yeah.
Everyone have a wonderful day.
Thank you.